Today we're going to take you to the Hyde Park Barracks, Sydney's must-do immersive history experience. We're going to step inside one of the country's best preserved convict-era buildings and walk in the footsteps of thousands of convicts, migrants, and institutionalized women who once lived, worked, and survived here. This is one of Australia's UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It offers over 4,000 original artifacts on display and more than 200 years of history. These are all crimes that they get in trouble for. So this is a self-guided tour, and there was a lot of visual effects, like there would be walls of video. The Hyde Park Barracks were designed by convict architect Francis Greenway. The Hyde Park Barracks housed 15,000 male convicts in government employment between 1819 and 1848. The Hyde Park Barracks is listed as a former barrack, hospital, convict accommodation, mint and courthouse, and now it's a museum and cafe. It's also known as the Mint Building and Hyde Park Barracks Group and Rum Hospital. Wow. Okay, we can go in it. The fear, the rats, the sweat of 80 men in here in the barracks. This is where this. Aha. So I was just repeating what some of the audio was telling me. Of course, I had to try to sit in one of these things. I had a heck of a time getting out, let me tell you. I think I ended up doing the roll onto the floor and stuff to get out of one of those. So eternally, the 4 rooms on each floor were hung with 2 rows of hammocks. It has a 3-foot passage, and the room allowed for 7 by 2 feet. So this way, the rooms could sleep 70 men each, while 35 men slept in the smaller western rooms. The accommodation soon proved inadequate, and up to 1,400 men were housed in the barracks at any one time. It's estimated that perhaps 30,000 men and boys passed through the barracks between 1819 and 1848. So in certain areas of the museum, they had virtual people like this girl right here. So as soon as you walk in front of her, she turns on and she starts talking to you and tells you her story. So it's a story of one of the people that actually stayed here, and then you move along to different people. It was kind of neat. I guess there's little holes everywhere in the walls. So the convict response to the barracks was somewhat mixed, because those were able to pay for lodging by working on Saturday were not happy about the confinement, and others were happy to have a roof over their heads. So in 1820, in order to ease the pressure on the crowded barracks, the reward of being allowed to live outside the barracks was extended. So convicts found gambling, drunk, engaging in the streets, or unseemly behavior had this freedom revoked, and they were sent to live in the barracks. It became a form of punishment Saturdays was also punishable by confinement to the barracks, and they had to work during the week for the government, but they were allowed to work for their own benefits on Saturday, and this was a privilege. From 1830, convicts were brought to the site for sentencing and punishment by the Court of General Sessions, sitting in northern perimeter buildings. Punishments handed down included floggings, which were carried outside on site, or terms on the treadmill or chain gangs. While one of the first agencies to encroach on the barracks, they were not the last. The Board for Assignment Servants operating from barracks between 1831 and 1841. And in 1840, they saw a dwindling number of convicts to the house, and by 1848, the numbers remaining did not warrant the use of such a large premises, and the remaining convicts were removed to Cockatoo Island, which I have a great video on Cockatoo Island. So make sure you check that video out. And of course, it wouldn't be a video without a Shanster spin shot. So then it was turned into a depot for female immigrations who were coaxed to leave their homeland by the promise of better employment, prospects, and life. The barracks also housed the orphan institution until 1852, which many Irish victims have passed. It was then turned into an asylum for infirm and destitute women between 1862 and 1886 to provide accommodations and care for 150 women with terminal illness. So the barracks have such a huge history. And after all of that, it was turned into a court for Queen Victoria, and they called it Queen Square Courts. So during the early 20th century, industrial relations dominated proceedings at the Queen's Square. And in 1975, the Department of Public Works began extensive conservation, and it was turned into a museum. Which brings us to the Queen Victoria Mall, which is not too far from here. The Queen Victoria Building fills an entire city block bound by George Market, York, and Druitt Streets. It is the Palace of the People, and originally a concert hall, coffee shops, offices, showrooms, warehouses, and a wide variety of tradespeople such as tailors, mercers, hairdressers, and florists. Over many decades, changes saw the concert hall became a city library. It also became tenants to piano tuners and clairvoyants. It was renovated a couple of times, and in 2010, it was added to the New South Wales State Heritage Register. That protected it for many years to come.
It's a tourist.
I hope you enjoyed my video today on Sydney's awesome Hyde Barracks and the Queen Victoria Building Mall. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. And remember, it's up to you to make it fun and make it yours. We'll see you the next time.